feel?
I think it was my faith in God that pulled me through it. You know, there's this thing called agency, free will. And if I hadn't have gone through postpartum depression and...
Imagine a young girl, her voice a beacon of joy, singing songs of innocent love that captured the hearts of millions. Her smile lit up stages, her charm defined an era. But behind the spotlight, shadows loomed, secrets so heavy they could shatter even the strongest soul. Marie Osmond was America's wholesome darling, the girl next door who seemed to have it all. Yet, her radiant smile masked decades of buried pain, from traumatic childhood experiences to relentless industry pressures that nearly broke her. And now, her shocking decision to leave no inheritance for her children has ignited fierce debate. Why would a devoted mother choose such a path? Join us as we uncover the real Marie Osmond, the struggles she endured, the courage she summoned, and the bold choices that define her legacy. If her resilience moves you, hit that like button to honor the woman who turned pain into purpose. The world saw Marie as the quintessential child star, a beacon of purity in a turbulent industry. Born into the Osmond family, a musical dynasty rooted in Mormon values, she was thrust into fame at age 3, performing alongside her brothers. Her 1973 hit Paper Roses made her a household name at just 13, her voice a symbol of innocence. But beneath that polished image lay wounds that would shape her life. In her 2001 memoir, Behind the Smile, Marie courageously revealed that she faced deeply inappropriate and harmful encounters as a young girl, around 8 or 9 years old. These distressing moments, involving individuals who briefly crossed her path, not family members, left her confused, scared, and scarred. Too young to fully comprehend the gravity, she buried the pain, terrified that speaking out would bring shame or disbelief. "I struggled to trust anyone. It shook me to my core," she later shared in interviews, reflecting on how these experiences even led her to question her own identity for a time. Growing up in a family that prized perfection and public image, silence felt like her only option. The Osmonds' strict moral code and relentless performance schedule left little room for vulnerability. Marie kept these secrets locked away, never confiding in her parents or siblings, not even her protective older brothers. For over 2 decades, she carried this burden alone, her smile a carefully crafted shield against the hurt gnawing inside. But buried pain doesn't vanish. It festers, weaving itself into every corner of a person's life. As Marie grew into adulthood, the echoes of those early experiences manifested in struggles with trust, self-worth, and mental health. Depression and anxiety became unwelcome companions, their roots tracing back to those childhood moments. "I felt like I was never enough," she admitted in a 2016 interview, describing how the trauma shaped her relationships and self-perception. Therapy became her lifeline, a space where she could finally unpack the pain she'd suppressed for so long. Through years of introspective work, she connected her mental health battles to those early violations, a revelation that was both devastating and empowering. It gave her pain a name and a path toward healing. Speaking out wasn't about seeking attention or sympathy. It was about reclaiming her voice. "I had to forgive myself for staying silent," she said, a statement that resonates with countless survivors. Her decision to share her story publicly sent ripples through her fan base and beyond, inspiring others to confront their own hidden pain. Marie's openness showed that even icons, those who seem untouchable, can carry invisible scars. By giving voice to her truth, she transformed her hurt into a beacon of hope, proving that healing begins with honesty and that no one is alone in their struggles. The entertainment industry, which should have been a nurturing space for a young talent, instead piled on its own brand of cruelty. As a teenager, Marie faced relentless emotional and verbal attacks from those meant to guide her. At just 15, weighing a mere 103 pounds, she was pulled aside by a producer on her hit variety show, Donnie and Marie. His words cut deep. "You're an embarrassment to your family. Keep food out of your face." This wasn't a gentle critique. It was a vicious attack from an adult profiting off her talent. Terrified of losing her place in the industry, Marie pushed herself to a dangerous 93 pounds, sparking body dysmorphia that haunted her for decades. "I wept over how I treated my body," she confessed in a recent interview, her voice heavy with regret. The cruelty didn't stop at her appearance. Industry executives belittled her efforts, treating her not as a person, but as a product to be molded and sold. Her schedule was grueling, 16 to 20-hour days with no regard for her youth or well-being. There were no tutors to ease her learning, no breaks to catch her breath, just an unrelenting demand for perfection. The industry that marketed her as America's sweetheart viewed her as disposable, a commodity to exploit until she burned out. These experiences ingrained a toxic belief. Her worth was tied solely to her appearance and performance. Even as she achieved global success, those early wounds fueled persistent self-doubt. "You're never enough," the voices in her head echoed, a cruel legacy of those teenage years. By speaking out in interviews and her memoir, Marie has exposed the dark underbelly of Hollywood, where young stars are often exploited without protection. Her story serves as a stark warning to parents. The glamour of fame can hide profound harm. Yet, through sheer resilience, Marie survived, channeling her pain into advocacy for stronger safeguards for young performers. She's become a voice for change, pushing for an industry that nurtures rather than destroys. Her journey underscores a painful truth. The system that elevates young talent often fails to protect them. Marie's courage in sharing these experiences is a call to action, urging parents, producers, and society to do better. The pain Marie buried didn't stay silent forever. It erupted into a crisis that nearly consumed her. By her late 30s, after the birth of her seventh child in 1999, Marie plunged into severe postpartum depression. A suffocating fog settled over her life. Simple tasks like getting out of bed felt insurmountable, and anxiety attacks left her gasping for air. "I thought I was fading away," she recalled in a 2020 interview, her voice trembling with the memory. For years, she'd mastered the art of compartmentalizing, locking painful memories away in mental boxes. But those boxes began to crack, flooding her with unprocessed grief from childhood trauma and industry scars. Nights were sleepless, haunted by memories she'd tried to forget. Days were a performance of normalcy for cameras and fans. Panic gripped her so tightly that she feared leaving her home. At her lowest point, she left her family for 3 days, driving aimlessly, unsure if she'd ever return. "I didn't want to keep going," she admitted, a raw confession of her despair. Friends and family noticed changes, but Marie's skill at masking her pain kept them at arm's length. She'd spent a lifetime perfecting the art of deflection, smiling through the hurt. The turning point came when she faced a stark choice: seek help or lose herself entirely. Choosing therapy was daunting for someone who'd built a career on appearing flawless, but it was her lifeline. Unpacking decades of pain was like performing surgery on her soul, excruciating but necessary. Through therapy, she traced her struggles back to those early traumas, a revelation that was both heartbreaking and liberating. It gave her pain a source, a reason, and a path forward. Marie's journey highlights a critical truth. Trauma can resurface years later, amplified by life's stresses like motherhood or loss. Her openness about postpartum depression and mental health has helped destigmatize seeking help, showing others that it's okay to struggle. She's living proof that rock bottom can be the foundation for renewal, a place to rebuild stronger. From that darkness, Marie emerged as a transformed woman, a fierce advocate, unafraid to bare her soul. Writing Behind the Smile was a therapeutic milestone, but her ongoing interviews and public talks have made her a beacon for survivors. "It's okay to not be okay," she says, sharing her story with raw, respectful honesty. The response has been overwhelming. Survivors thank her for validating their pain, parents value her warnings about protecting children, and mental health professionals praise her for normalizing therapy. Marie has aligned herself with organizations dedicated to preventing abuse and supporting mental health, using her platform to drive change. There are setbacks, moments when doubt creeps in or old habits resurface, but she's committed to vulnerability. "My story's purpose is to help others," she says, a mantra that fuels her advocacy. This shift from silent sufferer to vocal warrior wasn't instant. It was a gradual awakening. She's redefined strength, showing that it's not about enduring pain alone, but about sharing it to heal collectively. Through her courage, countless others have found their own voices, proving that shared pain loses its power to isolate. Then came the decision that stunned the world. Marie announced that her fortune, amassed over a 50-year career, would not go to her children. With 8 kids, tragically, her son Michael died by suicide in 2010 at 18, after battling depression and addiction. This choice sparked intense backlash. "Heartless," critics raged on social media, accusing her of abandoning her family. But Marie's reasoning is rooted in love and hard-learned lessons. "Handing kids unearned wealth robs them of purpose," she explained in a 2023 interview. She's seen money destroy families, breeding entitlement and emptiness. Her own upbringing, despite its pain, taught her the dignity of hard work. "I want my children to build their own paths," she insists, emphasizing that true success comes from effort, not handouts. Instead of inheritance, she plans to donate to charities, ensuring her wealth serves a greater good. Some family members feel hurt, confused by her stance, but Marie remains steadfast. Real love empowers, not enables. This choice reflects her own journey. She knows material wealth can't heal inner wounds. It's sparked broader conversations about inheritance, self-reliance, and what it means to truly support loved ones. In a world obsessed with money, Marie's betting on her children's resilience, perhaps her most profound gift. The loss of her son, Michael, deepened Marie's empathy and resolve. His death, a devastating blow, underscored the urgency of her advocacy against suicide and addiction. She's spoken candidly about his struggles, hoping to help others navigate similar pain. "Losing him broke me, but it also pushed me to fight harder," she shared in a 2022 podcast. Her work with mental health organizations has grown, focusing on prevention and support for families. Marie's story is a testament to the ripple effects of trauma and the power of healing. Since 2001, her openness has shifted how we talk about hidden pain. Hollywood faces growing pressure to protect young talent. Parents are more vigilant about the dangers of fame. Therapists point to her journey as evidence that trauma can manifest decades later. But healing is always possible with support. Marie's message is clear: strength lies in vulnerability. Share your story. It creates connection, she urges, a call to break the silence that traps so many. Today, Marie Osmond stands as a symbol of triumph over adversity. The child who faced harm, the teen who endured cruelty, and the mother who battled despair has become a source of hope for millions. No longer defined by her early hits like Paper Roses, she's real about life's thorns, weaving them into a legacy of change. Her advocacy has helped destigmatize mental health struggles, empowered survivors to speak out, and pushed for safer spaces for young performers. Her impact is profound: lives touched, silences shattered, and a new understanding of what it means to be strong. Marie's journey shows that vulnerability is a superpower, that sharing pain can spark healing, and that one person's courage can change countless lives. What resonates most with you about Marie's path from pain to purpose? Have you or someone you know faced similar struggles with trauma or mental health? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story could be the encouragement someone needs. If Marie's bravery inspires you, give this a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more stories of resilience and hope. Together, we can break the silence and build a world where no one suffers alone.